it's a margin that I don't think we've ever seen before, probably will never see again.
Yeah, definitely one of my better weeks at MODUS. I feel like my game's there at the moment. I'm playing really well. I think, like I said, I think I just needed that little break from the Pro Tour. And
hello, welcome along to the Tungsten Talk here at the MODUS Super Series, where we delve into the lives and careers of some of the stars of darts. Today, we're going to be having a reflection on what we've seen so far and what the future looks like for a certain Graham Hall. He's with myself and Scott Mitchell here in the studio. Great to see you here, first of all. And I just want to talk about the Super Series and the whole project of that and the lively, because it feels like that was the thing that really kickstarted. It was the first thing we kind of saw you really in the mainstream with.
yeah, definitely the Super Series helped my game a lot, coming here and playing a lot better players, and yeah, it definitely improves your game.
How did the original invite in Southampton come about?
I can't actually remember that far back now. That was a while ago. But yeah, definitely pleased that I did get an invite back then, and yeah, it's just gone on from there, really.
I love having these conversations with players that played in the previous studio, because there's so much, I suppose, nostalgia about it. What were your memories of the old place in Southampton?
The squeaky floor.
Everybody says the same thing, don't
I think
they?
we all remember the squeaky floor, but yeah, wouldn't change it. It was a great little venue to start everything off, and it's definitely improved a lot since Southampton, yeah.
It's fair to say that Graham was kind of the first of that cohort of players that we saw come through here. Maybe didn't see too much on the TV screens before, but then made a name for themselves in the then Live League, and then went on to do good things.
Yeah, for me, you know, we tried. I was in my pomp back then, and I would say that you want to keep your eye on the up and coming players that are coming through, and at that time the Live League was bringing new players through, and we were going, wow, who are these players? Because they were turning up and performing under the pressure of being in a studio, under the lights, on the cameras for the first time. And I think it was at the start of the developing people that then came through the Super Series now and have gone on to get tour cards.
And for you, it was regular gameplay, wasn't it? Back in the previous times, it was what series every 4 or 5 weeks. So you were pretty much every month, every other month, coming back and constantly playing. How much did those types of reps help you as a player?
Oh, definitely, that helped 100%. I think that's what actually started my game and wanting it a lot more. The exposure, like you say, you can't beat it, really.
When you're a player and you get that sort of situation and you're a winner and you're used to winning, if you go there and start getting your backside handed to you a few times, there's nothing better for you to learn the game than that. It develops that drive, it develops that want to go back away from there and practice and make yourself a better player and a better person with it. And I think that's probably what happened to you, Graham.
Yeah, definitely. Like you say, none of us like losing, and there's only so many times you'll take it before you get back on that practice board and sort it out.
Yeah, well, you tend to make mistakes, and people don't understand if they've never played in front of the cameras and in front of the TV. There's certain things that happen to you that don't happen to you on a league night or a county stage or whatever. There's an absolute adrenaline rush that you have to learn to control. You start throwing harder and faster than you've ever thrown before. You start doing it, and all these traits are traits that you have to get out of to then be successful on the TV. So you have to overcome them, and Graham's certainly done that.
Where did darts begin for you? When was the first time you were kind of introduced to the game?
It wasn't until I was about 18, really. All my mates were into like computer games and stuff like that, and my mate had a dartboard up in his room. While they were all playing Xbox, so I just got on the dartboard, and that's pretty much where it all started.
Did you know you were good straight away?
You knew there was something there, like I could play reasonably well straight away, yeah.
Such a modest. So how does it then go from being in your mate's bedroom with a dartboard up? When does it go from that to actually maybe this is something that I could do, maybe something I want to take on a bit more?
Yeah, it wasn't until one of my pals noticed that I could actually throw half decent darts, so invited me down to the local pub league, and yeah, it all started from there. And it weren't long just after that, I thought, we'll take it a bit further, do some local competitions, started winning. I thought, yeah, we got a chance here.
So it was that kind of old school down the pub, Super League, and then just build from there, kind of county, that sort of thing?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Never so much county. Didn't really interest me that much, but competitions every weekend, travelling about, yeah, really enjoy it.
It's amazing how many players they're almost like they kind of stumble into the game a little bit, where it's like an external factor that sees them originally start off playing, and then suddenly actually realise that there's an innate ability there.
Yeah, no, I mean, 9 times out of 10, if you ask one of the top players, it's generally a friend of a friend that gets them going, or there's a circumstance that gets them going. And yeah, some people then go, as you quite rightly say, you go off to your local league, you realise you're quite good at it, messing around with your friends that have got you involved in the first place. You then get invited along to a pub, and the next thing you know, you're in a team, and before you know it, you're one of the better players in the team, and then people are looking at you to play Super League, which is another level again. Some people then go on to county, or some people then decide, hang on a minute, there's a few quid to be made here. Rather than go to county, I can go to a little local event and pick up a little bit of wonga here and there, and help sort of keep the wolf from the door in other ways. And that sounds the route that Graham's gone.
So when did it get properly serious, to the point when you're thinking, right, I'm going to enter proper events here against proper players at the top end of the sport?
I think it was a couple of years into actually playing, and I just thought, yeah. And I think, what was it I started on? A challenge tour, I think I did. First Q schools back then, a bit different to what it is now, but yeah, that's the way I went.
So I suppose it was kind of a case of just like slowly building the steps up for yourself then.
Yeah, definitely. Can't rush it too fast, and I'm glad I didn't. Obviously, wish I'd started a little bit younger than what I did, than 18, but you take what you got, really, didn't you?
Younger? I didn't start till I was about 39. That's madness. So yeah, no, absolutely.
He's
I
only
get where you're
42
coming
now.
from. Yeah, I'm only 38 now. Yeah, no, it's some people just go to it fairly quickly, and others come to it a bit later. But what I like about the way that Graham's done it, it's been steady progress. It's been steady rise. What sometimes you find with new players is there's an absolute sort of plethora. You go in and everything goes your way all the time. And before you know it, you've been around for 2 years. And when things then start to go wrong, it's been a rapid rise. And you don't know how to handle it because you haven't been losing game stuff. And sometimes those players then just disappear for the game from years, and you don't see them come back for 10 years. With Graham, he's been that nice, slow, steady, rapid rise. It allows you to learn along the way and makes you a better player and a more longevity in the long run.
You had some really good times at the Live League in Southampton. You've also had some similarly good times at the Super Series. Now, I suppose it's weird because the week that you won at the Super Series was actually in the old venue in Southampton. And first of all, the group of players that you're in hindsight, goodness me, what a group it was.
Definitely.
And you won that Group A, was it 12 points, wasn't it, like the margin?
Yeah.
It's a margin that I don't think we've ever seen before, probably will never see again.
Yeah, definitely one of my better weeks at MODUS. But I feel like my game's there at the moment. I'm playing really well. I'm just giving away silly games at silly times, and I know my averages are up there, and yeah, just got to stop giving away those silly games. Like yesterday, I think I gave away a couple of games that I probably shouldn't have, and it's probably cost me Group A, but you never know, there's an outside chance still.
What was winning that week like?
Oh, brilliant. Knowing straight after that we were going to be playing the Super Series at the new venue here in Portsmouth. Yeah, it was great.
So was that actually part of the inspiration at the time for all the players? No, because we knew that this was in the pipe work for about 4 or 5 months maybe before the move was actually made to come here. Particularly when we realised that the first series was going to be split half and half. Did that actually add an extra motivation factor, knowing that if you win your week here, you'll be the first to play in a big tournament at a brand new venue?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, we didn't know what to expect when we got here, but yeah, it definitely a great venue to play in. A lot better than Southampton, I'd say.
And I would agree. It's become a venue that dart players around the world are now watching. We're now on Pluto TV, so it can be streamed right the way around the world. There's no problem with that. And players are now saying that this is one of the places that we want to come. People used to say they want to play at Lakeside, they want to play at Ali Pali, and now now players realise there's probably a greater chance of playing here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth, and it's become a venue where players want to come and perform because everybody that's been here is taking it away and saying this is a purpose-built venue. It is built for players to perform their very best, where some of the other venues aren't always that easy to perform their best because there'll be something not quite right about it. But here is designed and made for players, and that's why everybody wants to come here and play.
How much did playing in this competition then put you in good stead to then go on and get your tour card?
Oh, definitely. You can't get better practice than that. The people that you're playing here at the Super Series, it's players that are going on to get tour cards, like you say. So when you're going to Q School, you're playing the similar type of player. So, yeah.
In terms of your couple of years on tour, you qualified for a number of Euro tours, you had some decent runs. Would it be a case of you had a good couple of years, but just in the end, it just wasn't quite enough?
Yeah, I think at the time I did fall out of love with the game a little bit towards the second year, but I was quite happy to lose it in a way because I'm back enjoying the game again, and it's given me that little spark that I need to hopefully get it back next year. Is
it that difficult thing where, because look, you're in a room with 128 of the best players in the world, and if you're not at the top of your game, you're not winning. How tough an environment is it? How hard a place is it when things just aren't quite going to plan?
Oh, definitely. It's one of those places you've got to learn to lose, but you've got to take it well and take the positives and move on to the next one.
Because we've seen great players struggle. I mean, Connor Scott's a great example of it, where he went on tour, played okay, went off tour, but then he came back a better version, didn't he?
Yeah, sometimes it's great if you're able to do that, but I'm with Graham. For me, the second year really was more difficult than the first. I think what happens is you start looking over your shoulder and looking to see in the second year, you know what you've got to start performing, otherwise you're going to lose your card. And I think there's an added pressure to that as well. The intensity of the Pro Tours as well is something very different to anything else you ever play. You can play in local tournaments, you can play in World Championships, but the intensity of the Pro Tours week in, week out is very difficult. And you do. I had a very similar thing where I had a run where it started going wrong for you, and you do start to fall out of love with the game because you feel like you're going there, you're turning up, getting beat and just going home. And you have to get out of that rut, and it's not the easiest thing to do under the vast pressure that you're under. And also the fact that you're on the Pro Tours means that everybody else has got more attention on you because people are paying more attention to you as a player because you're on the Pro Tour. So there's lots of mind messes there for a player, particularly in the second year.
In terms of looking forward, in terms of moving forward for yourself, what does the short term, maybe a little bit more longer term future look like for yourself?
I definitely want to get my tour card back eventually, but I think to lose it, I think I needed it, I think, just to come back and enjoy the game again and realise why I was playing in the first place.
Because actually the results since you've come off tour, you've had a really good run of it on the ADC tour. Looks like you're probably going to be at the tour finals. Good chance of qualifying for the global championship. So actually what we have seen, Challenge Tour good as well. I think it's top 10, isn't it, so far this season. So actually what we have seen is that actually you've dropped off tour, but you've been able to bounce back quite well. Yeah,
definitely. And I think, like I said, I think I just needed that little break from the Pro Tour and just enjoy myself and play my game that I know I can play.
Some people drop off the tour and it's not positive for them. For Graham, it's been really positive. Like you say, you're listing off those stuff. Rather than sort of sulk and worry about not having a tour card anymore, he's actually, like I say, taking it positively and saying it was a good step actually. Probably I needed it. Maybe I got my tour card a little bit sooner than I was expecting. But now he's dropped off, taken what he's learned from the Pro Tour, and he's now bringing that to the Challenge Tour and the ADC stuff, and that's what's making him a success.
I know obviously the Super Series is high up on your priority list, but is that those ADC ones something that you look at, maybe like the Tour Finals, Global Champions, is that something you're looking at maybe later on in the year, something that you might look at possibly trying to qualify for and maybe try and get some success in?
Yeah, definitely the Global Championships. I think that's what I'm striving for at the moment, and obviously the Super Series here, and yeah, and there's some good money in the game now, even in the ADC.
I suppose we kind of saw it last year from Bradley Brooks, didn't we? Where he dropped off tour. He was the first to admit his game wasn't in a good place. And he used this as a platform to rebuild the Super Series. He then went and played the ADC events, and then we saw him qualify for the Tour Championships, saw him qualify for the Global Championships, and we commentated on that event together. We then saw how at the end of the year he put his game in place to go and get his tour card so emphatically at Q School. This is a route for players like Graham that could drop off tour, rebuild their game, and come the end of the year, feel as if they're ready to have another real assault at it, with that confidence in the bank that probably the players dropping off tour don't have. Yeah,
I think so. And I think for Bradley Brooks, we mentioned him, he fell back in love with the game. And because when he dropped off the tour, he started being a success again elsewhere. And he peaked his run absolutely perfectly to go back to Q School. But he'd started picking up money again. So by the second half of the year, he told me he was back practicing again and putting the effort in because you realise what you're going to do. And I can probably see that happening with Graham. As you get to the end of the year, get to September time, that's the run in, that's the time in then where you want to go in towards Q School and thinking, I am playing my best. And you want to be slowly, steadily getting better and better. And the only way is to put the hours in on the board when you're at home on your own.
Do you feel like you're in that position now where all the experiences that you've gained here, Pro Tour, do you feel like that's now made you a better player, and a player that's now perhaps at the point where you're about to kind of click towards that real peak of your powers possibly soon?
Yeah, definitely. I think I've definitely learnt to hold my nerve a little bit more, but still on the odd occasion it just creeps in and you can't get rid of that nerve, but I think that's a good thing and you just got to learn to deal with it.
I think mentally, watching from the outside in, mentally you're stronger. Say a year, 18 months ago, I don't think anybody minded playing you. Now we know that you're a different sort of obstacle when you walk up to that hockey. You have a different mentality before the game starts. It was a kind of open mentality before. Now the mentality is, you're winning this game, I'm going to do this, and if you're going to have to do something special to come with me. Yeah. And that's the look on your face every time you walk to the board here. And I think that's something that's changed, and that's what's happened. And it's hardened you up. The Pro Tours have hardened you up.
Yeah, definitely. I'll go into every game. I believe I should be winning every game that I play. It's not always the case, but you've got to believe it. Definitely.
Finally, if I came knocking on your door on Christmas Day and I asked you what would be a good year, darts-wise, what would be the answer to that question?
At the moment, I think get my card back and get on the world stage, definitely. Players' Championship, the Worlds, definitely want a good crack at that, definitely.
Well, Graham, thank you very much for your time. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best with your endeavours going forward. Scott, thank you so much as ever. Thank you for watching the latest edition of the Tungsten Talk here at the MODUS Super Series.